Drove all the way to LA crying, bro. Tears in my eyes, bro. This fleeting success will take you off of your path. All I gotta do is stay on my flying carpet.
Are you comfortable with telling the people in what ways have you fell off your dean and had to find your way back?
Ooh, hell yeah. I got it. So to see those things in watching that dope movie. It's a dope movie.
Right. You're watching Last of a Dying Seed, the only platform on this planet where we take real stories from real people and we pair them with movies. And today we have Keshan Price, aka Shahid, and the movie that he says one of the movies that best relates to his life experience is Aladdin, the original one. So for the world that don't know, how does this movie connect to your life?
So for me, so the first time I actually watched Aladdin, bro, was when I was in prison.
Mm,
And I already took my Shahada, right? So for me, like, and I kind of remember people saying like Aladdin was like supposed to be like a diss or like a joke towards Arabs or Muslims, right? But for me, when I watched it, it was like so enlightening because for me, like I connected with Aladdin because Aladdin was he was a thief. You know what I mean? Aladdin was going
right,
around stealing stuff, bro, kind of just being that like um to see that in the movie, I like instantly connected with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay. Uh and
so you
then I
connected with his lifestyle at that time where
yeah.
both of you guys were at your humble beginnings.
100%, a hundred
Right,
percent. You feel me? Before the carpet even came into play, with the carpet in Aladdin for me, so uh, as a Muslim, we're known for praying on our musalla, our carpet.
okay,
So for me, when I seen when the carpet came in place, the carpet, no matter what Aladdin got into, the carpet was there. You feel me? Be it uh when any type of trouble he got into, the carpet was always there to get him out of trouble. So for me, like when I seen that, I'm like, in my brain, I'm like 2 years Muslim, but in my brain, I'm like, oh, Aladdin was on his deen the whole time. You feel me? Aladdin
mm,
was no. That's what I got from it. Was like,
yeah,
okay,
exactly.
no matter what he was into, he stayed on his musala. You know what I mean? Even though he wasn't physically praying like how a Muslim prayed, but that carpet was always there. It don't matter when he was chasing a girl, when he was getting all into mischievous things. Um, the the carpet was all with the monkey too, but the
Right.
carpet was always there just to like keep him guided. So for me, I'm like, oh, like sitting inside that cell, I'm like, oh, hey, if I stay on, all I gotta do is stay on my flying carpet.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So with me, it was just a affirmation of the importance of me being a Muslim and just no matter what I got going on, I'm staying on my carpet. You feel me? I'm staying on my musala. I'm always praying. I'm always like no matter where I'm at. So with me, um, that's what that carpet signified.
and then, all right, and in the beginning, I think the dude who tried to get inside the lion's mouth, right, who tried to access the treasure
Uh-huh.
first, his name was Gazim, but he wasn't worthy.
He
The
wasn't worthy.
same, he come from the same humble beginnings as Aladdin, but he wasn't worthy, and the
Uh-huh.
lion crushed him. And he said, you got to find the one whose value lies far within,
Uh-huh.
a diamond in the rough.
Hey, on everything. I just had that on my note right here too.
You know what
I
I'm
put that on.
saying?
Yep, on
So
everything. On everything.
that's
Yep.
deep because it shows that you have to be worth something inherently first.
Uh-huh.
And with that, you will access that greater source that will give you everything your heart desires.
100%.
Tying that into you, what I'm saying? What are the type of traits and qualities you believe as a Muslim that you have to have inherently in order to access your greater source, which is Allah, and gain everything your heart desires in the world.
Um, I would say one like being humble to like one like being humble to want to learn, being humble to like always knowing you could be better, a better human being. You know what I mean? Uh, and then also knowing that like in the Quran, like Allah tells us like Allah gave us all gifts. You feel me? And even like Allah tells us like He gave us all gifts, and I'm a paraphrase here, and like some above others. You know what I mean?
Mm,
To test us also like so just like being able to be humble and always, no matter what, knowing that the struggle is gonna come. You know what I mean? And one of the principles for us as Muslims is like, like, like Allah put those He loved through struggle. You feel me? To because we know struggle makes one one is gonna bring you it should to return you back to Allah. Two, when you struggle, you get to learn more about yourself. You feel me? You get to learn about your resolve,
for sure.
and then also I would say like another intrinsic value, internal inner is I would say like always being grateful no matter what, like always being grateful and always being thankful to Allah, and like it will get you to where you need to go, like you know what I mean. Continue on your process.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy when you brought up struggle, how Allah will put you through struggle in order to return you back to Him. You know what I'm saying? Or to humble you. And
Hmm.
that's what happened with Aladdin. Remember when he was granted all that power and it went all bad? You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Things took a turn to where he was no longer in favor, and Jafar was coming out on top, and
Uh-huh.
he had to go through these trials and tribulations in order to, like you said, return back to the original state of being humble, of
100%.
being grateful. And once he did that, everything was brought back to him, and he was able to realize throughout that process the things that was most important to him, that he
Yeah,
didn't need
100%.
all that. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? At the
Hmm.
end of the day, he had everything that he wanted. And a lot
100%.
of times we go through that throughout life. We chasing these riches, we chasing this money and wealth. But once you have everything that money can buy, now you get recentered to realize the most important things anyway was relationships, was your relationship with your higher power, which was the impact that you leave once you leave. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
100%.
Stuff like that. So
100%.
what do you feel like is most important outside of all of that stuff to you? You know what I'm saying, as you go throughout life.
The most important thing to me, bro, is for sure Allah for sure, but like just my family, like having my my kids, my wife, my parents, and just family. Because at the end of the day, like I think about this song called by Drake, right? He says my only peace of mind is keeping my family fed. You feel me? Like in that song. So for me, it's like for me, the most important thing is like doing doing right by my family. You know what I mean? Doing right by my kids, doing right by my community. You know what I mean? Like, so I remember when I first came home and being behind those walls, I had like $1 million goals. You feel me? Like I'm gonna do this, do that, do that, do this. Literally, the plan was we're all trying to get it. And I remember when I first came home, right, and I started to work, and I started to I'm like, okay. And actually realized how much time and effort it takes to chase the bag, right? I'm like, hold on. Like I realized actually trying to chase the bag that it took away from everything I actually cared about. And I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, because the things that matter the most is like you said, like things that inner peace, my family, take care of my wife, having my kids, being able to see my parents, my nieces and nephews, going to football games, going to family events, being in the community, pushing in the community. Um, like I find that to be my most like fulfilling, you know? Like I get focused on those other things and I could actually feel that it takes me away from what really matters, you know?
For sure. So, are you comfortable with telling the people in what ways have you fell off your dean and had to find your way back?
Ooh, hell yeah. I got it. So one of my biggest struggles, right? So when I first came home, I was working, right? I was working with some Mexicans. I was painting, right? And I'm like, bro, I can't. It was a horrible job, bro. Like, it was just a horrible job. And I'm like, I quit. Bam. So I quit my job and I'm like, okay, let me get back to the drawing board. I'm at my sys pad and I just kept my foundation, you know what I mean? I'm at my sys pad, but I'm taking my kids and my nieces and nephews to school. And I'm not doing nothing, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not doing nothing. I'm like, I'm just soaking this and go through this process I gotta go through.
And
D-
this
d-
after, sorry to interrupt, but this after how many years in prison?
I did 7.5.
7.5. All right, you
Yep,
came home, attempted to do a job. It wasn't working out for you mentally. You on your sister couch and you
100%.
trying to figure it out.
Bro, and I'm telling you, I'm like I'm going through this crisis now. You know, like if you been in juvenile hall before or anything?
No,
Okay. Oh, so you only did that, you did that one
just
term?
all adults.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm gonna give you a little. So I remember like getting out of juvenile hall. I've been in prison before. I did my 7.5. I did like 2.5 years, and I remember coming home. And as soon as struggle came, I'm like, oh, I need to go figure it out. And I end up right back in prison in 9 months. So this time I come home, I'm like, okay, and I'm like going through it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? I gotta figure this out. And I met a female, bro, and this is before I met my wife. And you know what I mean? It was something actually like I told myself like, bro, I never do this again. You know, I never go in, whatever. So then met this female, bro, and bro, uh uh all of a sudden, bro, my life was a little better, right? And and through this whole like journey of like for like a month I'm dealing with her, right? And I'm I'm like stressed out, bro, basically, bro. And I'm like, bro, what am I doing? And but at this whole time, bro, I'm praying, bro, 5 times a day still, bro. I'm going to June. I'm still locking in on my dean.
I think you kind of losing the people a little bit. If I can assume she was a walk. She was on the track.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean?
All right, a
She was,
304. However
yeah.
people want to take it.
I don't want to take it
Yeah, you was pretty much, for lack of a bet, well, the best term is you was pimping her.
yeah, 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 yeah. Let's just be
Yeah,
straight. Yeah, yeah. So it was like, and I remember being in prison, like, bro, I never do no stuff like this again ever in my life. Like, what? And um, she was a stripper. You feel me? And
as well. All
yeah,
right.
and and I remember being so down. I'm like, fuck, I gotta hurry up and figure this. I gotta get to it. You feel me? I gotta find a way to get up, bro. I was in that for 3 weeks, and my heart, bro, it felt like being in fire. You feel me? So in Islam, like qalb, your heart means like to turn. And whatever you put your heart in or whatever you're doing, your heart turns that way. If that's
Mm.
what the so I actually, even though I'm praying, I'm doing all these things, I actually felt like I started to go through like my first real battle like this, like where it was a fork in the road and it was like, and I knew the decisions that had to be made. You feel me? I'm like, bro, I can't be doing this, bro. Drove all the way to LA crying, bro. Tears in my eyes, bro. And I'm like, and I get up there and I'm like, I can't do this. You feel me? And like, she already knew. She was like, I understand, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro. So then by always staying on my, like staying connected, still on my flying carpet, like I said, like, it's like Allah corrects you. You feel me? And I was blessed to be able to be corrected, get that out of my life, and then literally like 3 weeks later, meet my wife.
Mm.
Literally, bro.
Meet your
Like,
wife, got on a better path, got into community work. What organizations are you aligned with right now?
so right now, I'm a community organizer with Pillars of the Community. Um, who we advocate for those that are negatively impacted by the police and the criminal justice system. And my position is I'm the civic engagement coordinator, manager. I deal with voting and all the issues in the community and things like that.
Okay, okay. And what do you feel like by watching the movie? What's the spine of it all? What's the underlying lesson that could sum up the whole movie that you take with you in the real world?
Is that is that trying to chase your desires and trying to chase your like this fleeting success will take you off of your path. Um, and everything has a balance. Like think about it, like Aladdin had the genie, he had 3 wishes. He wanted to fall in love with the girl. He wanted to be the king, and every all that was just fleeting. Like it didn't even matter when at the end of it, like you said, like what mattered was him being finally coming back to be himself and falling in love with Princess Jasmine. So like for me as a Muslim, like staying on my carpet, staying on my prayer will always staying close to Allah will always keep me, even because we're not perfect. So sometimes we may kind of deviate a little bit. Aladdin deviated a lot of times, like,
Right,
but he always was able to come back and be centered and to ultimately get to where he needed to go. So like I think that like the underlining is for me, the story was like, don't get too caught up in the fleeting stuff. You know what I mean?
right,
Just like Allah's always near. You know what I mean? For me, you know what I mean? And just stay on the path and just be yourself, and you're gonna get to where you gotta go.
for sure. Because at the end of the day, he didn't even realize he was a diamond in the rough. And I think a lot of us have been at that phase at some point of our life. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even realize he was him from the beginning. You know, if he did, he wouldn't try to, wish for these worldly things that he thought she wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
At the end of the day, all she wanted was him, what was inside him.
It was crazy because you remember like she connected with him at, when she left the castle and went to like, oh, I'm gonna go run away.
Right.
She fell in love with a commoner, and
Exactly.
he didn't even know that. He was so busy trying to be this prince king, and she's like, don't I know you? And he was like,
Right.
no, I'm Prince whatever. And she's like, oh, bro, you're a bozo.
Right.
Like, you sure? But so it's like just like you said, like with that diamond, like we are that diamond in the rough. Like, and that's what that was, like, especially as black men, like they always try to tell us like, oh, y'all come off as like overconfident, but it's like, nah, like especially us that been through what we've been through, bro. You feel me? Being able to
For
make it
sure.
off the block and then be able to make it off those level foes, you know what I mean, behind those walls. It's like we realize in those sales, like, hold on, 5 years, 10 years into our sentence, like, oh, bro, I've been him all along. Like, I've been we was Aladdin trying to chase these names and titles where it's like, hold on, bro, like me being Keshan Price is what makes me me. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it's just like we are that diamond. You feel me? And it's just about us honing it and making it a skill, I guess I would say. You know what I mean? Like just like anybody else, like anybody with an art, they just get better and better. So I think it's
Right.
for us, it's just like believing in ourselves and believing that our greatness does not come from nothing outside that comes inside. Like
Right.
we think that something outside is supposed to make us great, but really we really have that greatness within us that we need to bring out. And it makes me think about the word I think educate, or yeah, the word educate. I think the word is like educe or something. I'm probably a Greek or Latin term, and it
Mm.
means to draw out. Like really, education is only supposed to draw out what you
Mm.
have within you. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's like, and I learned that from my brother in prison. You feel me? Gave
Right.
me that jewel. You feel me? Like, bro, you go look up education. You can actually look it up. Like it's like educe, and it means to draw out. Like education
Mm.
is only supposed to draw something out of you, like bring out our gifts. You know what I mean? And we realize like it's nothing outside that comes in us that makes us, and we be, excuse me, probably like because I'm in the office, but just being able to realize like everything we need is within us. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Everything is within us.
For sure. For sure. And what else you got going on out there, or about the intent to have going on?
Being able to actually like bridge to start dealing with the youth, you know what I mean? Currently building out a nonprofit called Hidden Answers in Plain Sight, where we're dealing with youth, mentoring, civic engagement, and just being able to like to get these youth out here like options, you know what I mean? To like redefining for these youth like what, because we all use the term gangster and stuff like that, to redefine for them like, bro, what's really gangster, you feel me, what's really like dope, and was able to like uh get these kids to reach their potential that's at their fingertips.
Every seed that we planted bore some rotten fruit. The baby boomers sold crack just to cop a coupe. They taught us slide and shoot, judge hangers with the noose. Never show no mercy on your ops, never call a truce. Big bruh said you could be a pimp. All you gotta do is have her mind and you could lead the bitch. Brainwashed by the six, but then with self-imposed limitations. Trying to hit this home run before we load the bases. Never had no patience, all my partners died young, and yet and still we emulated examples that they died from. We was on the hype, call it learned behavior. Post your gun on Instagram, 100 on the cater. Chain with the savior, but you never love your neighbor. Crabs in the bucket, never do each other favors. Taught us to treat our brother as a sucker or the ops. And you can't be gang if you don't put one in the box. Our example was destructive, last of a dying seed. How can the fruit grow healthy if it's a rotten tree?